In a collective show of resolve against sexual violence, leading advocacy groups, child protection networks, and prominent individuals have called on the Lagos State Ministry of Justice to challenge the recent Court of Appeal decision in the case of the State of Lagos versus Dr. Femi Olaleye. This case, which had previously resulted in a conviction for defilement and sexual assault by penetration of a minor, was overturned by the appellate court, a move that has sparked widespread concern. In a press conference held in Lagos, representatives from organizations including Miracle Center, Chechiyara Child Advocacy Center, Project Alert, Women Advocates Research and Documentation Center, and Federation of International Women Lawyers FIDA, alongside notable activist Kate Henshaw, expressed their disappointment and determination to see justice prevail. While acknowledging the legal reasoning of the appellate court, the activists argue that the verdict deserves further scrutiny at the Supreme Court, Nigeria's apex judicial authority. They emphasize that the case's gravity, coupled with the fact that the appellate court's decision diverges from the High Court's earlier judgment, warrants a final determination. The activists underscored the devastating impact of sexual violence on children, describing it as one of the most heinous crimes in any society. They warned that allowing the acquittal to stand could embolden perpetrators and undermine government's commitment to protecting vulnerable citizens. Highlighting the emotional toll on the victim and their family, the activists argued that a Supreme Court appeal would not only restore hope to those directly affected, but also affirm the state's commitment to justice. The activists also stressed the international attention the case has garnered, urging Lagos State to demonstrate leadership in combating SGBV. They warned that the country must be seen as a nation that protects its women and children. Failure to act decisively could damage public trust in the judicial process and embolden other offenders, they stated. The activists concluded by urging the Attorney General to appeal the verdict in the interest of justice, public policy, and societal integrity.
Aware of the recent decision of the Court of Appeal, Lagos Division, overturning the decision of the Lagos State High Court, where Dr. Femi Olaleye was convicted on a 2-count charge of defilement and sexual assault by penetration of a minor. Whilst we are not in a position to fault the decision of the Court of Appeal, we have the considered opinion that the judgment be appealed to the apex court. As it is, the judgment is not a concurrent decision of the High Court and the Court of Appeal. This suggests that the Supreme Court may also not agree with the decision of the Court of Appeal, the same way the Court of Appeal was dissatisfied with the decision of the High Court. It's our position to maintain the mental sanity of the victim, the families of the victim, and the members of the various organizations mentioned herein.
As we know, the Court of Appeal is not the apex court. It's not the apex court. Its decision is not final. So, be that as it may, there is need for the judgment to be appealed, because, like they normally say in a common parlance, that the court or judiciary or the court is the hope of the common man. They are now making us to believe that it is no longer what we think it is, or that there is a kind of segregation when it comes to appealing some cases because of the people that are involved. So, because if they fail to appeal this, if the Lagos State government through the Office of the Attorney General fails to appeal this judgment, it will do a dead blow, and the consequences will be so severe.
And so, as the coalition of advocates, we have come to express our displeasure at this judgment giving. This judgment giving will only make people continue to remain in silence, and will only make sexual and gender-based violence continue to thrive. With silence, we are only empowering the perpetrators daily. This is an urgent appeal to the Lagos State government. We all know that Lagos State is a state that other states mentor our sexual and gender-based policy. This is an urgent appeal to our governor. This is an urgent appeal to the Honorable Attorney General. This is an urgent appeal to other human rights defenders. Let us join hands together to see that sexual and gender-based violence does not thrive.
So the best we could do was to petition the Attorney General of Lagos State, under whose authority and jurisdiction is the DPP of Lagos State. And we believe that if they so approach the Supreme Court, whether it is technical or otherwise, justice will be done. And justice in this case is a two-faced coin. Justice either for the accused or justice for the victim. Is that okay? Yeah. So that is the definition of justice on this case. If Femi Olaleye is, if the Supreme Court frees him of this accusation, that is justice. If it's otherwise, that is justice. I think that is that's the premise for this demand here today. We are not saying the Supreme Court is, peopled by men and women who can't think. No.
We are appealing to the judicial system. We are appealing to every child advocate out there. If you have a child, if you have anyone around you, and you believe that these children are the future of our nation, please, let's stand up together for these children and protect them. And that's why we are standing with other child advocates today, that we want the government to look into this case. We want the governor and all the people in power to ensure that they follow through this. We follow through the process. We knew how it all started. We were part of this from the beginning till the end. And for me personally and other child advocates, we are dissatisfied. We are not happy. But we know that the Lagos State government will do something about it. And as it goes to the appeal court, we have sent our petition. We want you to look into it. And let's hope that this will be worked on and we're going to get full justice.
Of course, the accused person have right of appeal. He has the right to go on appeal, even up to the Supreme Court himself. But Lagos State government also has right of appeal from the decision of the Court of Appeal. And that is why we are here, that they must exercise their right of appeal.
In public interest.
In public interest. Thank you for adding that. In public interest. Because, like the question that is asked, the implication is that if it is not appealed, this case, the judgment is going to form a precedent. It's going to form a precedent on which other cases, other accused persons, other defense will rely in future. So that is why it needs to be tested to the apex courts.
As the call for action reverberates, many await government's response with hope that the pursuit of justice will remain uncompromised.